What is a mucus plug in pregnancy? One of the first questions that many pregnant women have is, what is a mucus plug in pregnancy? The mucus plug is a small plug of mucus that forms at the opening of the cervix during pregnancy. This plug helps to seal the cervix and prevent infection from entering the uterus. The mucus plug also contains important antibodies that can help to protect the developing baby. As the pregnancy progresses, the cervix begins to soften and open in preparation for labor. This process is known as effacement. The mucus plug is usually expelled just before or during labor. Some women may notice a small amount of blood when they lose their mucus plug, which is called show. Losing the mucus plug does not necessarily mean that labor will start immediately, but it is a good indication that it will start soon. What are some signs that I lost my mucus plug? It's not every day that you lose your mucus plug, but when it happens, it can be a bit of a shock. After all, it's not something that you usually think about or even see. So, what are some signs that you lost your mucus plug? First, you might notice a small amount of blood in your mucus. This is because the plug is attached to the uterus, and when it comes out, it can cause a small amount of bleeding. Second, you may notice an increase in vaginal discharge. This is because the mucus plug helps to keep the cervix sealed, and when it's gone, there's nothing to stop the discharge from occurring. Finally, you may notice a change in vaginal discharge color. The mucus plug is usually white or yellowish in color, so if your discharge changes to this color, it's a sign that the plug has been dislodged. Things to avoid after losing mucus plug. Inducing labor. Many women believe that losing their mucus plug is a sure sign that labor is about to begin. However, it is not advisable to try and induce labor after losing the mucus plug. This could lead to serious complications. Sexual intercourse. There is a risk of infection after losing the mucus plug. Therefore, it is best to avoid sexual intercourse until after the baby is born. Douching. Douching can also increase the risk of infection after losing the mucus plug. It is best to avoid this practice altogether. Exercise. Strenuous exercise can also cause complications after losing the mucus plug. It is best to take it easy and avoid anything too strenuous. How long after losing mucus plug does labor start? There is no definitive answer to this question, as each pregnancy and labor is different. However, it is generally believed that losing your mucus plug is a sign that labor may be starting soon. Some women lose their mucus plug days or weeks before labor begins, while others may lose it just hours or minutes before going into labor. If you think you may be losing your mucus plug, it is important to contact your healthcare provider so they can monitor you and your baby closely. What happens if you lose your mucus plug too early? Losing your mucus plug too early can therefore be a sign that you may go into labor soon. However, it is not always an accurate predictor of when labor will begin, as some women may lose their mucus plug several days or even weeks before they go into labor. If you are concerned that you may be going into labor, it is important to speak to your doctor or midwife. They will be able to assess whether or not you are indeed in labor and advise you on what to do next.